Okay. So in the last class, we were discussing strings. We will continue the same discussion today and try to finish the topic on strings. So we looked into slicing and striding. We saw how to reverse a string as well. So if we have some string, one minute, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if we have some string st is equal to India or something. Okay. So if we want to reverse the string, we can use slicing and striding. Use a negative striding in this. So you get the reverse of the string. Okay, this is how we can reverse a string using negative striding. You can also fetch a part of the string also using slices. For example, st of colon 3 will fetch first three characters in the string and so on. Okay, like you want to fetch from the second character, that is the character at index 1 up till the character at index 3, you can use 1 colon 3 and so on. Okay, continuing with that, next we look at how the plus operator works with strings. You can use plus to concatenate two strings. Okay, adding one string at the end of the other. Okay, so I have a string called, uh, let's say A has the string uh, south, B has the string India. Okay, you can try this along with me. So if I do A plus B, okay, then you get South India. Okay, you can even store this into a string. C is equal to A plus B. Then C contains the concatenated string of A and B. Okay, but when we do this, if we display the contents of A, B, B, they remain the same even after doing the concatenation. Okay, A and B are same. So when we write an equation of this form, C is equal to A plus B, these two strings are concatenated and stored into C. Suppose instead I want to concatenate, but I want to update the string A. Okay, in this case, so A comma B comma C, I display them. So I see A is South, B is India, C is South India. Okay. If instead I were to write A is equal to, or A plus is equal to B. Okay, we know the shorthand assignments. Okay, so A plus is equal to B can be interpreted as A is equal to A plus B. Okay, so A plus B will concatenate two strings, South and India to South India, and store it into A. So now if I display the values in A and B, see A, which was earlier just South, is now modified to South India. Okay, so this is how we can use the plus operator and the plus equal to compound assignment. So when we use plus with two strings, it performs the concatenation. It adds the second string at the end of the first string. Okay, and if you want to store it back into the first string, you can write a plus is equal to b. Okay, wherein the contents of b gets added at the end of a. Okay, next, have I shown the, okay, it's discussed later. Fine. Okay, I will come to the star operator later. We will discuss that also. Okay. Then, if I have a list of strings, for example, I have a list. Okay, lists we will learn shortly. It is also a collection of elements. Okay, which is enclosed within square brackets. Okay. For example, let me take this one. Fruits is equal to, let's say, apples, oranges, and mangoes. Okay. So if you want to fetch one of the element here, you can use the index. First index will be apples. Okay. Similarly, second value will be oranges. Second, then the third will be mangoes, and so on. Okay. This is how you can have collections of elements called lists. Okay, we will after finishing strings, we will look into tuples and lists also. They are also collections. If you remember in the previous class, I just said Python provides several collections: strings, tuples, list, dictionaries, and sets. Okay, so if we have a list which is consisting of elements which are strings, okay, we can perform concatenation operation on all the elements and return a single string, okay, using the join method. So let's see how to use that. Hmm, we have this dot join fruits. Okay, so the join method requires a list which is a collection of strings, okay, as we can see here, and you can write the join character also. Like in this case, when I'm concatenating multiple strings together, I am using the joining character as space. Okay, so a space gets added while concatenation is being performed. Okay, so it is not that you have to use only a single character as the join character. Okay, you can write your own variation, something like uh, hash hash whatever. Okay, you can write a series of characters. Okay, and you can see that those characters will be used as the join characters. Okay, and if you don't want any specific character as the join character, you can just pass a null string, empty string, in which case, okay, you get a continuous concatenated string of all these elements without any joining character in between. Okay, so did you understand how to use the join method?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So You can also try these examples. Just type these examples in your Python thing and just understand it for yourself. Try it out and let me know when you're done.
I already did, sir.
Yeah, okay, you are doing it. Okay, so you can store that joined whatever string you get, the concatenated string. You can store it into a new string variable. Let's say let's choose the name for it as row. Okay, you can choose any name, any identifier for that matter. Okay, so now row will contain the concatenated string. Okay, so on any string, you can perform several checks. Okay, so some of these are check whether the string is consisting of only lowercase characters. Okay, so here the result is false because some of the characters are in uppercase. For example, the A over here, 0 over here, M over here, and so on. Okay, so given a string, if you want to find out whether all the characters are in lowercase or not, you can make use of the built-in method called dot is lower. Okay, any string followed by dot and then is lower method. If we call is lower on this particular string, okay, then it will return true or false depending on whether all the characters are in lowercase or not. For example, uh, this is equal to something like Delhi. Okay, so this time I can write place dot is lower. Okay, so in this case it gives me true because all the characters are in lowercase. Okay, in the previous case, because some of the characters are not in lowercase, it returns false. Same way, you can check whether mm, if the string consists of all uppercase characters. Okay, so place dot is upper gives false. Okay, row dot is upper also gives us false because some of the characters here are in lowercase. In place also all the characters are in lowercase, so both of them gave us false. Suppose say I have place is equal to something. I will change the string to something else. Uh, Something like Pune. Okay, in uppercase. Place is equal to Pune. Place dot on the string. If I use is upper, I will see that the all the characters, because they are in uppercase, I get the result to be true. Okay, so you learned how to check whether all the characters in a string are lowercase or uppercase. Okay, so in any problem, if you want, if you are required to find out whether a given string is in lowercase or not or uppercase or not, you can make use of is lower and is upper. Okay, consider there is another function called as is title, which says whether the given string is in title case or not. Okay, so in title case, only the first character will be in uppercase, the rest will be in lowercase. Usually we write, when we write names, we follow this convention. Okay, so for example, name is equal to Raju or something, let's say. Okay, so name dot is title. Okay, name dot is title. See, this time it is giving us true because only the first character is in uppercase, the rest all are in lowercase. Okay, so this is the meaning of is lower, is upper, and is title. Okay, so did you understand how to perform the checks using is lower, is upper, is title to find out
Yes,
whether
sir.
you got it right? Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Uh, Sometimes you even want to check whether a given string is made up of white space characters. Okay, so let's create a string empty which is made up of space, white space, tab. Okay, maybe even a new line also. Okay, then you can check whether empty dot e space. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, yeah, e space, it gives me true. Okay, this usually where we require is, suppose say I am reading one line at a time from a file. Okay, so sometimes there could be empty lines. For example, in my text file here itself, line number 183, 184, 185, all of these are empty lines. Okay, so they are made up of either spaces. Okay, either the space, and also we see there is a new line character and all. So if I want to check whether a line contains some text or not, okay, I can use this e space. So if e space returns true, then the line does not contain any characters, text characters. If e space returns false, then we can say that okay, it is made up of some characters. Okay. So for example, if I say name dot is space, it gives me false because it is not made up of only space characters. Okay. Then next, consider a string of the form 1234. Okay. So if you want to check whether a given string consists of only numeric characters, okay, you can use isNumeric, a function called as isNumeric, s dot isNumeric. Okay, it returns true, and there are other cases as well. Like you can check whether it is a decimal. Okay, it returns true. Okay, and another one is digit. Okay, most all of them are mostly the same. Okay, and it works with not only English digit characters, Unicode numeric characters also. For example, we earlier saw that in this CEC, Unicode CEC stands for the Kannada digit 6. Okay, so if I want to check, let's say this is the input that has been given by a user. Okay, I want to check whether he has entered it properly. I can check whether num dot is decimal. Okay, num dot is decimal will give me true. Okay, same way I can do is digit also on it. Okay, then also it returns true. Okay, so these is digit or is numeric will not only apply to only English digits, it can be applied to other language numeric characters as well. Okay, uh, so is decimal, so you can use any one of these to check whether it is a decimal, whether it is in numeric form or not. Okay, and sometimes, for example, let's say in usernames or something, when you create a website, or let's say you prepare a utility where you the user will enter his username. Okay, and you have said that the username should be consisting of only alphabets or digits, something like that. You want to put a restriction. Then you can check that using the condition. Okay, let's say test is equal to, let's say, some string. Okay, marks 1 2 3, something like that. Okay, so now you can check test dot is all num. Okay, is all num, you can read it as is alphabet or number. Okay, so this checks whether the string is made up of only alphabets and numbers. Okay, so it returns true. In this case, we have the contents of the string are either alphabets or digits. Okay, so even if you have something like test is equal to a1 b2 3c, something like that, this also will return true, is or num. Okay. Then test dot is alpha. Okay, so here the check is whether it is made up of only alphabets. Okay, in this case it returns false. Okay, so name, we earlier had created a string which is Raju. So if I say name dot is alpha, it returns as true. Okay, so if you want to check whether a string is made up of only alphabets and not any digits or special characters, you can make use of is alpha. Okay, so you have to understand the difference between is all num. Okay, so in case of is all num, it can be made of both alphabets and numbers, whereas in case of is alpha, okay, it has to be made up of only alphabets. Okay, like that you can test. So typical examples could be like validation. Okay, so input validation, you want to check a particular entered string from the user is consisting of only alphabets, or whether it is consisting of only alphabets and numbers, something like that. You can use these tests using is alpha and is all num. Okay, now let's see this example. Okay, we had a list earlier called fruits. So I have created another string called set using the join method with space as the separating character. Okay, so the contents of set would be apples, oranges, and mango with spaces. Okay, so far, what all functions we studied, they were just testing functions. They didn't change the contents. Okay, so even after doing name dot is alpha, Raju will remain Raju. Name dot is all num, Raju will remain Raju, something like that. But here we can not only uh, check, okay, we can also perform some change operations, which will give us which will return us a new string. Okay, suppose say I do set dot capitalize. Okay, so this capitalize method, what it does is it sets only the first character to uppercase and changes all the rest to lowercase. Okay, so this is how it works on a string. Same thing You can even change it to title case. Okay. So in title case, every first character of every word will be changed to uppercase. Okay. So that is how the title case, the difference between capitalized and title case. Okay. You can not only display this change strings, they can be stored into a new string as well. I can write cap is equal to set dot capitalize. Okay. So set will contain the string cap. Set capitalize will consist of only the first character being in the uppercase. Okay, we did set dot title. Okay, so it changes each characters into uppercase. Yeah, first word of every first character of every word into uppercase. Okay, you can you can even use it on title cap string also. Cap dot title. Okay, you can see now in cap oranges, the O and M are in lowercase, but when I use title on it, they are converted to uppercase O and uppercase M. Okay. In case of set, they already were in uppercase, so there was no change. So this is how you can use the title method and the capitalize method. Then if you want to change everything to uppercase, okay, let's say I have this string set dot upper, which convert all the characters into uppercase. Okay. Similarly, set dot lower will convert all the characters to lowercase, whereas set had some of the characters in uppercase, some of them in lowercase. Okay, so these are the methods: dot title, dot upper, dot lower, and dot capitalize. This is how we can change the contents and return a updated string. Okay, so when I do set dot lower, it has converted all the characters into uppercase and it gives me a new string. Okay, with only the lowercase characters, but set still remains the same old set only. Okay, so you should understand that we said strings are immutable strings, the content of a string cannot be changed. Okay, so any operation that we have performed here, the modification operation, what it will do is it will create a copy of set and then apply the changes on it and return that as a new string. Okay, so I can copy that new string, the result of this operation, into another string variable. So now set will remain the old value, but low is now a string which consists of only the lowercase characters. Okay, so is it fine so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you also simultaneously try these examples along with me, then you will understand it better. Okay. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next. Okay. So sometimes when you are displaying values, okay, you would want some kind of alignment in your text. Okay. So we will see those operations. Consider we have a string s which has, let's say, this particular string. Okay, and now I write s dot center and with a particular width. Okay, so can you see this is the result of the string? Can you tell me now what happened when I did this operation?
Uh,
I have highlighted the output. Okay, when I do s dot center,
it's in the center, like, yeah,
huh,
it's in the
center
center,
of,
center of the line. The
okay,
space is
like,
the front and back.
huh, okay. What is the length of the string?
20.
20 characters, okay. So what it does is it creates a string of 20 characters, and if this string does not so this does not have 20 characters in length, so it will add the spaces at either side such that the content is at the center of it. Okay, so to make this character to be of size 20, it has added spaces at either side, okay, at the beginning and at the end. Okay, like for example, s is equal to another string, let's say India or something. Okay, s dot center of 20. So it has added spaces at the beginning, okay, as well as at the end, okay, so that the content is in the center. And it is not that you should this fill characters. Okay, the filling is done using space. Okay, instead you can choose some other thing as the fill character. S dot center 20 comma, let's say I want the hash character as the filler. Okay, hash, asterisk, whatever, you can choose any particular character of your choice. Where is that? Yeah. See now. So what difference do you observe this time compared to the previous output?
It's again in the center.
Ah, but
The spaces are filled with ash.
instead of the default fill character, okay, if you don't specify any fill character, it assumes space as the filling character. Okay, whereas if you specify a fill character, okay, it will use that to fill up to make it 20 of length 20. Okay, if you count here, the total number of characters in the string would be 20. Okay, next we have s dot l just 20. Run this code. Okay, let s contain India. Run this and tell me what happened. What is the result of l just? S is equal to India and then run s dot l just of 20.
1 second, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it says India and then there's space. There's no space in the beginning.
Hmm. So
The
what
space in the
happened?
end. It
Space
has
in the
20
end.
characters, but then the space is in the end.
So this is left justification. It has aligned the content to the left. Okay, and it tries to build a string of 20 characters. If the string does not have 20 characters, it will use space as the filling characters. Okay, but the content string content gets aligned to the left. This was center aligned. Okay, previous one s dot center. Here s dot l just will align it to the left. You can use a fill character as well. For example, I use plus. So instead of spaces, it will add plus at the end to make it a length of 20 characters. Okay. So and it is not that you have to specify 20 every time. You can change this value also. Like I can give this as 25 also, and then it generates a string of 25 characters, and so on. Likewise, you could expect what would happen if I use s dot r just. Okay, what do you think happens in this case?
Space in the beginning.
Yeah, so text gets justified to the right. Okay, the alignment of the text is towards the right, and it adds spaces at the beginning rather than adding at the end. Okay, in left justification, the fill characters are added at the right side. In right justification, the fill characters are added at the left side so that the content gets aligned to the right. In left justification, content gets aligned to the left. Okay, so you can use fill characters also with this, something like let's say dollar. So the fill character is added at the beginning, and the content gets aligned to the right. Okay, so this is with regard to the center, left justification, and right justification. Okay, so when you want to display values, okay, and you want to align the characters, like for example, you are printing the bill. Okay, so you want to print the name of the shop in the center, then you can use this center method. Okay, and next, when you are writing the item name, they should be aligned to the left. You can use ljust. When you are writing the numbers, okay, usually numbers are right aligned, right justification. You would want it right justification. Okay, for example, s is equal to, let's say, 100, and t is equal to 1000. Okay, so oh, I didn't write a, s is equal to 100, t is equal to 1000. Okay, so if I write s and t, okay, so they are not so if I want to add them up, they are not aligned properly. Okay, if I want to add them, they should be aligned to the right. Okay, in this case, okay, so what I can do, I can write s dot r just of, let's say, file length 5, and then t dot r just of length 5. Okay, see, now they are properly aligned for addition purposes. Okay, 0 gets added to 0, 0 with 0, 1 with 0, and then 0 with 1. Okay, so when you're printing, let's say for example a bill, if you're printing the cost or something, they could be right justified. Item names, it should be left justified. Okay, headings or something, you want them at the center. Okay, in such cases we make use of this method. Okay, center, ljust, rjust. Okay, did you understand these methods, center, ljust, and rjust?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sometimes you would want to count the number of occurrences. Okay, uh, let's say I have this string yes. Okay, some random string, you can write some contents, and you want to find out how many times the some particular string or character appears in it. Okay, I want to find out how many times o is there in this string. Okay, so in that case, I can write string dot count and the character or string that you're searching for. So in this case, O appears two times. See here, we have one O here and one O here. Okay. If I want to search for the character E, okay, E occurs four times here. Okay, reached two times in reached, two times in college. Okay, and it is not that you have to search only for a single character string. You can search for multiple characters. For example, I want to find out the occurrence of the string LL. Okay, so it has appeared only once. Okay, then you can also specify the start and ending indexes also for this. Okay, instead of searching in the whole string, you can say search from index 11 up till 20. Okay, something like that. So I can write s dot count of e, which was 4 times, comma 11, comma 20. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I didn't come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so this is the position from 11 onwards. Okay, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, up till this position. Okay, find out the occurrences of E. So we see that there are only two E's, this E and this E within the range. Okay, that's why you got 2 for 11 comma 20, starting from index 11 up till index 20. Okay, so did you understand how count works if I give two additional parameters apart from the string that I'm searching for? Hello, Tanmay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you understand this? The meaning of 11 and 20?
No, I couldn't hear you. I lost you for a second. I
Okay,
understood
did you
till
understand
the.
the count
Yes,
method?
sir. Yes, sir.
So what it does is whatever string you give, it will search and tell you how many times this particular string. It could be a single character string or a multi-character string also. Okay, I have used only a two character one, but you can use even a larger length string also. And when you want to search, okay, if you provide only one parameter here, just the string, it will search in the whole string. If you want to limit the search to a particular range, okay, then you can say 11 comma 20. So start from index 11. Okay, go to the character we are at index 11. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so H is at the position 11, and then from H up till G is at the position 20. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so up till this position, how many E's are there? In that case, only these two will count. So that's why we get the result to be 2. Okay, you can
Yes, sir.
specify start and end positions. If I specify only the start position, it will search till the end. Okay, so now if I say only 11, it will start from position 11.
Till
Okay,
the end.
and then it goes on till the end. So there are three E's, one E over here, one E over here, and another here. That's why it's giving us 3. Okay, so we
Yes, sir.
can even do the same using slices also. Yes, colon 11 colon 20 dot count of E. See, this also gives us the same result. S dot count E1120. So here we are saying on the string yes, entire string yes, search for the character E in the range 11 to 20. Or another way to do is fetch the string from position 11 to 20. Okay, we can do that using strings, string slicing. And on this slice, okay, so the string slice is also a string. So we can apply the count method and say count E. Okay, so this as well as this are the same. Okay, so you can see that in Python, you can do the same thing in multiple ways. Okay, so it's just your convenience, like how you want to use it, and then get the job done. Okay, So count method, what it does, it searches for a given string within a range if specified, okay, and returns us the number of times it is present in that range. Okay, if the range is not specified, the range is taken to be the whole string. This is the count method. Okay. Okay, next we have something called as the partition method. Let's see this. So this is some string, let's say a to m, and then s dot partition fgh. Okay, let's see the contents. Can you tell us what happened here?
Um, Here it printed all the alphabets other than A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
No, like,
No,
did you
no, no, no,
understand
no.
what partition happening here?
Yes, sir.
S contains A till M. Okay, on S we have applied a partition saying that partition the string into three parts. Okay, with reference to the characters FGH. Okay, it will first try to see whether this sequence of characters FGH is there. Does the string have a sequence of characters FGH? Yes, has it here, right? Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if it is present, it will do a triple partition. Okay, it will give us the contents before FGH as one string. Okay, FGH as another string, and the contents after FGH as another third string. Okay, so P now contains three strings. P is a tuple. Okay, see, if you see the round brackets, it means that it is a collection which is a tuple. Okay, if it is square brackets, it is a list. Okay, we'll come to tuples and list shortly, but this is how you can partition a string based on some partition string. Okay, so now can you tell me the difference between partition and R partition? P and Q. Okay, P is the result of S dot partition. Q is the result of S dot R partition. It's visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So look at where the partition is being achieved in both the cases. In both the cases, the partition character string is FGH. Where does FGH appear? How many times does the FGH appear in the string?
Twice.
Twice, right? Okay. So partition always takes the leftmost occurrence. Okay, this FGH. Whereas R partition takes the rightmost occurrence. That's why it's called R partition. Okay, so it will return the part before the rightmost partition, and then FGH, and then contents after the rightmost occurrence. Okay, IJKL. Whereas partition method will take the leftmost occurrence, FGH. Okay, the leftmost occurrence of FGH, and then return the previous part and the second part. Okay, in case FGH appears only once, in that case, partition and R partition don't make any difference. They would be the same. Okay, suppose I have T is equal to A B C D E F G H I J something I J K L. Okay. M is equal to P dot P dot partition. So I didn't specify the partition string FGH. Okay. If I do n is equal to P dot R partition, n also will contain the same. See, m and n have the same contents because FGH has only a single occurrence in T. Okay, so the partition and R partition make a difference only when there are multiple occurrence of the partition characters. Okay, did you understand the difference now? Partition and R partition. Hello, hello. Tanmay, are you there? Volume ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡು. Hello, Tanmay, can you listen to me?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you.
Yeah. So you understood the idea of partition and R partition?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So only if there are multiple occurrence of FGH do they make a difference. Otherwise, they would be the same. Here there are two occurrences. That's why the results are different. Whereas in case of T, there is only a single occurrence. So whether I do a simple partition or a R partition, both cases the result would be the same. Okay. For example, I have something like file names. Okay, file name could be like program dot py. Okay, so if I do uh, p is equal to file name such that partition file name dot partition such that I want program in one string and the extension file name to be in one string and the file extension to be in another string. What partition should I apply? What should be the partition character? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So I'm having something like this file name. Okay, you have saved your file with some particular name. So I want to extract only the name of it, okay, name of the file, and the extension separately. In such cases, you can write file name. T is equal to file name dot partition with dot as the separation character. Okay, so if you see T, file name is now one string, the file extension is another string. Okay, so given a file name, you can extract the file name and its extension by using the partition method. Okay, this is one of the uses of partition. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay, next. Okay, consider again some string, okay, consisting of characters. You want to replace a specific occurrence of characters with some other set of characters, then you can use replace. Okay. So what you observe here in T, what happened? Compare T with S.
Uh, it replaced the ABC characters with star.
Other whatever replacement characters we specified here, right? Okay. So it is not that if the characters is three characters, I have to replace it with a three character string only. Okay. I can even write replace star 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 with four character strings also. Okay. So now you can see T, wherein every occurrence of ABC in S has been replaced with four stars. Okay, that's also possible. Okay, and it's not that you have to replace it with only the same characters. You can write it as uh, plus minus. It could be any different character, whatever. Okay, and so on. Next, if I specify another additional parameter to replace, okay, I say replace ABC with plus minus star, and I specify two. Uh, See what happened in this case. Can you identify what happened?
Uh, so, mm,
ABC has been replaced by plus minus star.
yes,
But what else has
but
happened?
two of the ABCs aren't replaced.
Only the first two occurrences are replaced.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So sometimes you would want to replace only few occurrences, not all occurrences. In that case, you can use this. Okay. So it can replace only the first n occurrence, whatever n value you specify here. I have specified two. So only the first two occurrences are replaced. Okay. Okay. Then we have something called as Z fill. Okay. So what do you observe here in Z fill?
The string has 8 characters, but S has only 4, so it filled the other with 0.
Adding zero as the fill character. Okay. So we had S dot R just 8. It would fill it with spaces. Okay. Or you could fill it with some characters of your choice. But if you want zeros to be filled instead of rgest, you can do it with rgest also. Okay. See, this also results the same. But if you want zeros to be added at the beginning, you can use the method zfill also. Okay, instead of rgest. Both of them are the same. The only difference is in zfill, the fill character will always be zero. Okay. Hmm. Consider some other string characters. Okay. So s dot, we have a method called as starts with. So here you can test whether a string starts with a particular set of characters. Okay. So in this case, I have given BC, which is false because it starts with ABC. So if I give the query now as ABCD, okay, it returns us the result as true. Okay, why? Because now this string is starting with ABCD. Okay, we can specify comma 2, okay, BC comma 1. Okay, so can you now tell the difference between starts with BC comma 2, BC comma 1? What does this value mean? 2 or 1? Why it is false in the first case, true in the second case?
Uh,
See the spelling of it.
for
Yeah, go ahead.
uh, I didn't get it. So,
See, starts with, did you understand?
yes, sir.
Okay. So when I say does the string S starts with BC, it gives us false. Does the string starts with ABCD, it gives me true. Okay. The does the string starts with BC comma 2 is false, BC comma 1 is true. Can you think why this BC comma 1 is true in this case?
Mm, not sure.
Indexes, think of indexes. So one
Um,
is at index 1, is it starting with BC? Okay, starting from index 1. Okay, in all these previous cases, the index was taken to be 0 at the beginning. Okay, so at index 1, so at index 0, we have A. At index 1, so this is the start position. So now, does this highlighted part start with BC? Hello?
yes, sir.
Yeah, it starts with BC and that's why it's giving us true. Okay, if I say the start position is 2, then 0, 1, 2. So this is the highlighted string. Does this start with BC? Highlighted string, does it start with BC?
Okay.
No, and that's why it's giving false. So did you understand the meaning of the second parameter here? If we give an additional number here, it will say starting at this position, starting at this index, see whether it starts with the given search string. Okay. So did you
Yes, sir.
understand starts with?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Similarly, like starts with, we do also have something called as ends with also. Okay, so is the string ending with BSF? It's not. Okay, so it's giving false. Suppose I give something like pass. Okay, yes, it is giving us true. Okay, starts with and ends with. So we'll look into an example of this. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay, that one is the same. Okay. We import a package called as OS, and we can extract file names in a particular folder by specifying this method next of os.walk. Okay, you don't need to worry about this particular code. For the time being, what you can understand is if I use this particular code next.os.walk and specify the path to the folder, okay, and use an index 2 on it, it will fetch me file names. Okay, for example, you can see here file names. It gives us a list, okay, list of all the file names in a particular directory. So this is the folder that I am talking about. Okay, so you see ab.jpg, ab.jpg being there, xyz, and so on. Okay, so it gives us the name of the files. So my question here would be to sort these files and display them. Okay, so files have different extensions: .jpg, .png, bmp, gif, and so on. Okay. So I want to display only files that are JPEG files. Okay, I don't want to display PNG, BMP, or .py. I want to only display those files which end with either JPG or JPEG. Okay, so this should let's see the result. 1 minute. Let me just step back. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So, where were we discussing this code, right? Yeah. Okay, Tanmay, you can hear me now?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we have used the ends with method here. Okay. As you can see, these are the file contents of the folder. I want to find out only JPEG files. So it should result show me a.jpg, ab.jpg, and xyz.jpg. Okay, other files I'm not interested in. Okay. So what we have done for that is first we have fetched file names. Okay, this is optional. This is just to see the type of it. It is of the list class. Okay, you will see that whatever we got file names after running that, it is a list. List is a collection of elements that is enclosed within square brackets. Okay. So what we are doing is after we have fetched this file names, okay, to fetch the file names, you have to use this method os.walk along with next. Okay, that has given you all the file names. Out of these file names, we want only those that end with JPEG. Okay, so what we have done here is we have applied a for loop. Okay, for name in file name. So every time name will fetch one element from the list. Okay, it will take, for example, in the first run ab.jpg, and then we perform name.lower on it. What will the lower method do? We have seen examples of it, lower, upper. So what will name.lower do in this case? Hello, Tanmay?
Yes, sir.
What will the lower method do? If I apply lower on a string, what will happen?
It'll show up in lowercase.
Lowercase, right? Okay, correct. So when I do name.lower, let's say on ab.jpg, I will get it as lowercase ab.jpeg. All the characters will be converted into lowercase. Okay, so why we are converting this to lowercase is because look at the way JPEG is. In some cases it is in uppercase, in some cases it is in lowercase, in some cases it is JPG also. Okay, so to convert all of them to equivalent case, we just do JPEG. Okay, and then we can perform a ends with operation, and ends with also you can not necessarily only give one extension, you can give multiple extensions. So for that you have to include it as a collection. Okay, within round brackets we are saying ends with either .jpg or .jpeg. Okay, so this is a condition. So ends with will return true if it is ending either with .jpg or .jpeg. Okay, if in that case we are going to print it. We are going to print the file name. Okay, so this name will be in the same file name. So when I run this code here, see ab.jpg satisfied it. So it is saying ab.jpg name is a JPEG image. Okay, name.lower at this point gives me the equivalent lowercase of ab.jpg, but name is not going to be changed. Only for the code here we get it in lowercase, and then we check whether it ends with lowercase jpg or lowercase jpeg. It displays it as a JPEG image. Okay, xyz.jpeg also satisfies the condition, so it displays xyz.jpeg is a JPEG image. For file and .py, okay, this does not end with jpg, so the if statement will be false, so it is not going to display this. Same with tg.bmp, tic.gif, b.png and all. When it comes to a.jpg, the condition is true, so it displays a.jpg is a JPEG image. Okay, so this is how we can use ends with method in Python to extract files of a particular type. Okay, like you have so many files in your folder, you want to arrange them. Okay, then so here we have just displayed the names. It is even possible that we can actually copy these files to a different location. Okay, uh, so that you can store all JPEG images in a folder, BMP images into another folder, text files into another folder, something like that. Okay, so that those detailed operations, copy and move operations, we will later see when we come to file handling. Okay, so for the time being, we just saw an example of the ends with function, which allows us to display only files that are ending with .jpg and .jpeg. Okay, I can change this to .png or .bmp. Okay, and if I run this code, it will fetch only those files that satisfy this criteria. Okay, so you can see out of these files, tg.bmp and b.png satisfy the criteria, and they are going to be displayed. Okay, so I will share this code with you at the end of the session. You can also rerun it and see for exam for yourself. Only thing is that you should give the path properly. Okay, probably in your Windows it would be like something c colon slash some particular folder slash something. Okay, like that you have to change it and then run the code. It should work. Okay. Any doubts in it? Did you understand the purpose of ends with? Okay, if you didn't understand any particular thing, anything that needs to be repeated, I can do that. Let me know. Hello, Tanmay?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. So anything that needs to be explained here that you didn't understand or something like that?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So shall we go to the next example?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Huh. Okay. So earlier we had seen the usage of the plus operator. What did the plus operator do with two strings?
It joined them.
It joined them, right? Okay. So we can use the multiplication operator star also on something. Let's see an example of it. S is equal to ABC. Okay. Okay. So if I write S star 3, what does this do? What did you observe S star 3 do?
It, it made the string appear thrice.
Okay, it's like joining three times.
Yes.
Okay, so S star 3 is equal to the same string being repeated three times. Okay, so like if you want to create a string with multiple copies of it, you can use the star. Okay, it will repeat the string as many times as you say. Okay, like for example, if you say S star 4, it repeats it four times. Okay, and you can write something like S2. So after doing this operation, S still remains A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. So S2 is equal to S star 4. So now S2 will consist of the repeated string. S will consist of only the original string. If you want to modify the original string itself, you can write S star is equal to, like how we had plus is equal to, you can do star is equal to. Repeat S four times and store it back into S. Okay. So now S consists of the repeated string. Okay. So if you can further do a repetition, okay. So this time this whole string got repeated twice, okay, and again it's stored back into S. So this is how we can use the multiplication operator star, which has a slightly different meaning with strings. Okay, when I did when I use star with numbers, it does the regular multiplication, whereas in case of strings it does the repeat operation. Okay, repeated concatenation. And if you use star equal to, the repeated string will be assigned back to the original string. Okay. Next we have something called as the split method. Okay, something like this. Let's say these are the dates or something. Okay. And like I have created a variable called date collection. You can choose any name. So when you use this split method, okay, we had seen join where we could join a list of elements into a single string. Okay, this is the reverse of join. If I give the input as a string, if I give the input as a string and specify a split character, if the split character occurs, okay, it will perform a split at that particular position. So whatever it got up till there, it returns it as a single element. And then again, after that, it has found 7 and it found another split character, so it returns 7 as the second element. And from there again, it starts looking for the split character. Okay, it goes till the end and it has reached the end. So whenever it reaches the end, whatever it has found so far, it will return as the third element and so on. Okay, so this is how the split method works. So we can use this to perform split operations on a string. Okay, for example, consider this string. Okay, this gives us the date of birth and the date of death of, let's say, the person Leo Tolstoy. Okay, so I want to find out approximately how many years Leo Tolstoy lived for. Okay, from this information. So I have this single string. Okay, so I will use this split method and try to find out the number of years. Okay, looking at this string, can you tell me how do we find out the number of years Leo Tolstoy lived for?
Uh, 100
Approximately, let's say we want to just count the years. So what should we subtract from what?
we're supposed to subtract the death date from the birth date.
Huh. So what is it in this case?
1910 minus 1828.
1910 minus 1828. Okay, so that is what we are finally supposed to achieve. Okay, but to do that, this is a single string now. We have to extract these values 1828 and 1910. Okay, so let's see how to do that. Okay, let's save it as a string. Okay, you can also do it along with me. Okay, let me call this a record. Record is equal to Leo Tolstoy. Okay, have you typed it?
1 second, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, done.
So we have this string record. Okay. So what should be the first split character here? How should I split this record first? I should get the name, date of birth, and date of death. So which character should I split? You saw here I wanted to extract the date. I used colon. Okay, date dot split of colon. Similarly, what split character should I use here? What divides what splits name, date of birth, and date of death? Which character? Hmm? Hello, did you get my question?
One,
Tanmay?
1 second, sir. Yes, sir.
So, which is the split character? What character, based on which character should I split this record? This highlighted record, which character should I use to split?
Um, uh,
So, if I use something as a split character, my result should be Leo Tolstoy should be 1, his date of birth, his date of death.
uh,
See what is separating his name, date of birth, and date of death?
partition.
Huh? No, I'm not asking you the function, how you do it. I'm asking you, see, you split it using the split method itself. Look
Yes.
at this example. So for
Yes.
split, I should say which character, or based on which character I have to split. I said the character is colon here.
Yes.
Here, what should be the split character in this example?
Um, Comma. No,
Where is the
not that.
comma in this?
No, 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 no. Uh, I'm not sure.
See here, which is the split character in this example?
Colon.
Colon. Colon is the split character. Okay, that way I am getting three fields. Okay, date, month, and then year. So something similar is separating name, date of birth, date of death.
Star.
What is that? Star. Okay. So I have to do something like fields is equal to, okay, I want to get three fields, so I store it into a variable called fields. Fields is equal to record dot, okay, which method should we call to split? Record dot split. Okay, what should be the split character? Tell me now.
And now it's
Record
supposed star.
star. Okay. So if I look into fields now, did you get three elements now? Okay, so did the split occur here? Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a single record has been split into three fields. Okay, Leo Tolstoy is the first field, 1828, 828 is the second field, 1910, 1120 is the third field. Okay, so to access the first field, you can write fields of 0. Okay, it will fetch only Leo Tolstoy. If you want to get the date of birth, what should I write? Fields of second record. What is the index? Second field. See, fields 0 fetches you the first record. What will fetch the second record in fields? Tanmay, indexing.
Um,
If I want to get the second element, what index should I use?
one.
1. That's all. Fields 1. See, it gives you the second element. See, the elements are separated by comma here. Okay, so Leo Tolstoy is one string. Okay, so how do we get to know that it is a string? It is enclosed in single quotes. This is also another string enclosed within single quotes. Okay, so now fields consists of three strings. Okay, which are the resultant of the split operation based on the split character star. So the single string has been split into three strings, a collection of strings. Leo Tolstoy. Okay, fields 1 and fields 2. Okay, so now how can I obtain 1828 from this? How can I obtain 1828? Can we apply a split operation again?
Yes.
Okay. What should be the split character this time?
Dash.
Dash. Okay. So I can write uh, DOB, date of birth, is equal to fields of which index? 1 or 2 for date of birth. Should I take the second element or the third element? Hmm? Which one is date of birth, the second or the third? Tanmay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So here, should I use the second element or the third element for date of birth?
First.
First is the name, right?
Oh, yeah, second.
Second element. Okay, so fields of 1. Okay, index for second element is 1. fields one dot split. Let's spell it properly. Yeah, fields one dot split. What should be the split character this time? Hmm? You just told. Fields one. How do I split? What is the split character?
Um, dash.
Dash. Okay. Okay. So now DOB will further contain the split values. Okay. Did you see now? Okay. Did you understand this part? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes, sir.
Huh. Okay. So so similarly, if obtain DOD, what should I do to obtain the date of death? You tell me.
Um, this a third element.
Huh. So how do we write it? Like I wrote DOB is equal to fields one dot split. What should I write for date of death?
Is two
Fields.
dot
Yeah. Fields two dot. Okay. Two dot split. What should be the split character?
dash.
Dash only. Right. All right. Okay. Okay. So if I print DOD, now it has three elements. Okay. So uh, we have the overall string record from which we got fields. Okay. From fields, we extracted date of birth and date of death. Okay. So now I want to subtract 1828 from 1910. Okay. So how do I fetch 1828 from DOB? I want to fetch the first element. How do I fetch only 18? If I write DOB, it gives me all the three elements. How do I fetch the first element in a list? You saw
Sorry?
previous example. In
Yes.
fields, if you wanted to fetch the first element, you use the index 0. Likewise, DOB of 0 will give me what?
1828.
The first element. Okay. So DOB of 0 gives me the date of death. Okay, year of birth and year of death. Okay. So now, how can I subtract these two? DOD of 0 minus DOB of, sorry, minus DOB of 0. Okay. Is this proper?
No.
No. Why?
No.
Because you cannot subtract two strings. So how can I subtract these now values? I have to convert them into integer and then subtract. How can you convert a string to integer?
In
Huh.
bracket in the number.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have to write int of DOD 0 minus int of convert it into integer and then subtract DOB 0. Okay. So now see he lived approximately for 82 years. Got it? Okay. So let's see this as single program. Okay. So I write this as a print statement. Okay. Fields of 0. So fields of so if I execute this print statement, let's clear it. Let's display them. Record fields DOB, DOD, and then okay. So it is DOD. There I have used different names. Okay, I will not. I will use DOB, DOD, DOB. Okay. So see, fields zero. Field 0 will fetch the first value, which is Leo Tolstoy. Okay, it printed Leo Tolstoy. After that, it printed the statement lived for about whatever as is. And then we, from DOB and DOD, we fetch the first elements using the index 0, convert them into integers, and then subtract, okay, which gives us 82. And then we have the year string, it is displayed as is. So, did you understand this part? How to use split? Any queries you have?
No, sir.
Okay, so we have used split two times. First, to divide record into fields, okay, and further fields into date of birth and date of death, okay, so that I get year, date, and the month. Sorry, year, month, and the date also, okay. And we are since we are computing approximately, we are subtracting only the years, and we are displaying Leo Tolstoy lived for about 82 years. Okay, that is the split method. Then, okay. So if you want to obtain the exact time, oh, I have not imported it. Import, we import time and then local time. If I display this variable local time, see this is the built-in variable, okay, which can fetch the current time. So if I say local time dot am underscore year, it gives me the current year. Okay. So this will store it as a record with several fields. Okay. So tm underscore year is one such field which stores the year, current year. Tm underscore month stores the current month. Okay. So this is the ninth month, the day of the month, okay, which is ninth today, September 9th. So that is also 9. Current hour is 18. Okay, minutes is 51, and so on. Okay. So this operation, you have to import the time library and call the time function and pass it to time.local time. Time.time function will give us total time in seconds. That is converted into this particular format, year of the, see, there are several things like minute, seconds, okay, the weekday, okay, presently, and the year of the day, like 252 days have been passed, this is the 252nd year of the week, okay, and something like that. So local time dot tm uh, month's day, M day gives us the current date, ninth, and so on. Okay. So this is another utility which you can extra if you want to extract details with regard to the present date. You can use this method. Okay, time dot local time, to which you have passed the result of time. Okay. These are some things that you have to remember over time. When you start using it, you will find them. Okay. Okay, I have this string. Let me use some other string, find method. S is equal to this. Keep a simple sentence, something like that. S dot find of A. Okay. So there is a find method now. Earlier we had a count method which counted the number of occurrences. We have the find method which gives us the first occurrence, first leftmost occurrence of a particular search character. Okay. So if you see here, T is at position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. A is at the position or index 8, okay, which is actually position 9. Okay, so the find method gives you the index at which a particular character has been found for the first time. Okay, so you can not only find out single character strings, you can even find out multi character strings as well. Like for example, IM is found at index 11. Okay, then if you use en, okay, it gives me the leftmost occurrence of en. Okay, even though there are two occurrences, en here, okay, it gives me the position of the first occurrence, s dot find. Okay, so did you understand the meaning of the find function? Okay, hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, yeah, you're there. So what does the find function do? Hmm?
It finds the index of the
Index. Okay, where it occurs, where the first occurrence occurs. Okay, not the second occurrence. Okay. Then find, you can also specify intervals. Okay, look for find only within these indexes. Okay, let me find out what is the length of yes. Okay, it has 25 characters. Find en within 3 comma 10. Okay, so whenever a particular character is not found, okay, s dot find of, let's say, zz, okay, the index it returns is -1. Okay, if there is a successful if it really occurs, then it gives us the index. In case the character is not found, it gives us -1. So same way, if I give two more parameters, okay, it will say within these indexes, within index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, okay, starting from this yes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, up till this yes, okay, in this interval, starting from this yes to this yes, do we have an occurrence of en? So the result is -1. Okay, so if I just say 3 comma 10, then I'm saying look starting from 3 till the end of the string. Okay, it gives me 18. Okay, at index 18 we have en. If I give the start index as look from 19, okay, then I'm saying look for the character en starting from this n. In that case, it will match this en and it is giving me 21. Okay. So did you understand the usage of find with indexes? Two
Yes,
values. If two
sir.
values, it is between the start location and the end location. If a single value is given, it takes it as the start location and takes it the second value as the end of the string. Okay. So in case the string is not occurring, what value will it return? Hmm? See the examples. If I'm looking for a particular string and it is not present, what value will the find function return? Hello.
Yes, sir.
What is the value returned when finds that a given search string is not present? In
0.
case of present, it is giving us the index position where the string was found. It is not 0, it returns -1. If it returns, see, if I give s dot find of th, it returns 0. Okay, so this doesn't mean that th is not present. Instead, it is present at index 0. Okay, but if I give something like ab, which is not present in the string, then it gives us -1. So what does -1 indicate? If the return value is -1, what does it indicate? Hello?
Yes, sir.
What does -1 indicate? My question is, what does -1 indicate? If the return value is
That
-1, what does?
the string isn't present.
Okay, the string that you are looking for is not present in the given string. Okay, yes. There is a second method also. Apart from find, we also have an index method as well. Okay, so index method also has the same functionality. Okay, like I have the string yes, s dot find of a, sorry, s dot the error was I should have included it as a string. It says a is found at the eighth position. Likewise, I can also use s dot index of a. Okay, so here also it returns me the index. So the difference between index and find is, okay, in case the element is found, the result is the same. Okay, but say I can even give two sentences, two characters or three characters, enc, something like that. In this case, it says enc is found starting at position 21, index 21. Okay, so when a search string is found, the behavior is same. Index and find behaves the same way. So when I say s dot find of zz, let's say zz. Okay, now tell me what is the return value for this s dot find of zz?
-1.
-1. Okay, so it says that element is not found. But if I do the same with index, okay, index behaves it in a slightly different manner. Index, instead of returning -1, it throws an exception. We will come across these exceptions later. Okay, so here it throws up an exception saying that value error. The substring that we are looking for is not found. Okay, so out of -1 and this, which one is more meaningful?
Sir, can you repeat your question?
So when I compare s dot find and s dot index, these two, okay, which one is more meaningful? Which one is more easier to understand?
Uh, Fine. Hmm.
See, to a lame user, when I run this s dot find, it gives me -1. Whereas when I say s dot index zz, it says substring not found. Which one is more meaningful here?
Index.
The second one, right? So looking at -1, it's not, unless he is a programmer, he will not understand that okay, zz is not found in s. Whereas here, a meaningful message itself is printed saying that the substring is not found. Okay, so exceptions are better ways to handle exceptional conditions or errors. Okay, and we will see how to handle this. Okay, so when we can further write in our code saying that if value error has occurred, take this kind of an action. Okay, something like that. Okay, that we will see later when we learn how to handle exceptions. Okay, but for the time being, okay, using s dot index is better than s dot find because it uses exception handling mechanism when the search string or the substring is not found. Okay, if the substring is found, both index and find behave the same way. You can see here. Okay, index s dot index of 8, s dot index of a gives me 8. S dot find of a also would have given me 8. Okay, we have format methods. Okay, this functions we will look into in the next class. Okay, this is slightly complex. We will look into str format for today and finish it off. Okay, so next is the string format. So strings support a format method. Okay, for example, I want some replacement fields. Okay, so consider this like, okay, so I have a string, okay, called the class, and then I have a replacement field. Anything written within flower brackets with a number is called as a replacement field. Okay, so this is a string whose contents can change based on the kind of replacement fields that we have specified using the format method. Okay, so now format method will take as many number of parameters as there are replacement fields. So there are two replacement fields, 0 and 1. Okay, so the first replacement field will be replaced with the first parameter here, and the second will be replaced with the second parameter. Okay, so later you can say if it is a different subject, okay, something like data science, then it says the class data science started 4 days back. Okay, and then if you write the replacement field in this order, then it will take, so here it will replace it with the second parameter, and this will be replaced with the first parameter. Okay, so the numbers indicate the order in which the parameters have been passed. So data science will be always the zeroth parameter, 4 will be the first parameter, and so on. Okay, you can have as many numbered field as you want in your strings. Okay, so why do we replace? Why do we require these replacement fields? For example, I have a string and an integer. Okay, if I have two strings ABC and DEF, I can perform the concatenation operation. Okay, I get ABCDEF. But if I have a string and an integer, okay, then I get an error because 400 is not of string type. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to either convert 400 into string and then do the concatenation. Okay, which could be like str of 400, and then I can do the concatenation, or we can use replacement fields for that. Okay, 1 minute, let's see the example that was earlier. This gives us an error, whereas instead I use it this way, then they get concatenated. 0 gets replaced with the string amount due is 40 rupees, 400 uh, is concatenated here after the string. Okay, so this is another way of concatenating strings, where one of that is a string and another is a non-string. Like if it is a number or something, numerical field, it could be like this. Okay, or like it need not be always a constant. I could store that into a variable. Okay, and then instead of providing a fixed value, I can say value here. So it says amount due is 400. Okay, if I say value plus 1, it will say amount due is 401, and so on. Okay, you can use even variables here in your programs. Okay, so format method is usually used to format the strings. Okay, especially in print statements and so on. Okay, so let's see some examples. Control x is equal to 3. Now, so s dot format replacement fields, we gave it a 0, 1, 2. 1, 0 will be taken as d, 1 will be taken as the value of x, which is 3. X is a variable now, x is not a string. And musketeers were taken as such, literally. D and musketeers were taken literally. X is not a string, it is a variable. So variable of x was, the value was 3, so it gives us 3 musketeers. Okay, like how we did in case of value, it assumes the value of the variable and replace it with the value of the variable here. So replacement fields, on the replacement fields, okay, apart from the field name, these are the field names 0, 1, 2. You can also specify format specification. Okay, and instead of numbers, you could also give meaningful names. Okay, so field names. So we have two fields. Okay, earlier we had numbered fields. So in format, whichever was the first parameter would be will be the numbered field 0. Second parameter would be the numbered field 1, and so on. But instead of using numbers, you can use meaningful names. Okay, you could have named parameters instead of numbered parameters. Okay, so here, so the advantage of numbered parameters is, okay, you can specify them in any order. Okay, so who is replaced with the parameter who. Okay, whose value can be specified as who is equal to, and then the value. Similarly, age is equal to 30. So here it is not that you have to give these parameters in the right order. Okay, even if I write who first and age later, comma, age is equal to 30, still the result would be the same. Okay, so with named parameters, okay, you don't need to maintain any particular order. Whereas if this were to be numbered parameters, okay, then the order becomes important. Another example, so you can mix numbered and named parameters. Okay, so who is the named parameter? So it will look for the named parameter who, whose value is boy. So it replaces who with boy. 0 is a numbered parameter, so it looks for the first parameter. The first parameter is 12, so it replaces it with 12. Okay, so you can mix the usage of numbered parameters as well as named parameters. Okay, uh, I think formatting will take more time. Let's stop here. We'll continue this usage of the format method and later look into these two functions in the next class. Okay. Any doubts so far, Tanmay? Okay. I will share this code with you. Whatever we have discussed so far, just revise them once so that you will understand them better. Okay. So let's stop it here. Tanmay, so can we have a class tomorrow, Sunday? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. My sister took my mouse. I couldn't animate quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Then we will have another class. I will let you know the time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow. Okay. We'll
Yes.
stop here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.